Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. I welcome you another video of mine which is aiming at perfecting your language. And today's topic is relative clause. Now, relative clause is a part of the English grammar which actually help us to write in standard language and correct language. Let's move on. Stop. If you are new on my channel, please subscribe it and press the bell icon so that you can get my video at the earliest. The first question which always bothers us is what is a clause? This is something which is mostly a vague idea in our mind. Don't worry, this idea is going to be clear today. Know one thing that clause can be taken as a synonym of sentence, but there is a little difference. Let's see what is that. If a clause can stand alone as a sentence, it is called an independent clause. Look at this example. The secret of life is honesty. This statement conveys a complete idea, a complete sense. Hence, this is called a sentence. It's mean that sentence is something which has a subject and which conveys a complete idea, a complete sense. That is why we can call it an independent clause. Because it is an independent clause, this can also called a sentence. So sentence is actually an independent clause, but clause is not a sentence because it is a part of another sentence. Look at this example, which is having two clauses. If you can fake that, you've got it made. If you little focus on this clause, you can see that this clause is complete in giving the idea, the sense to its reader. But on the other hand, if we look at this clause, we can see that it is unable to give the complete idea because of the presence of this conjunction in the beginning. Hence, this part depends on this part for its complete sense. Therefore, this part can be called as a dependent clause, but we cannot call it a sentence because it doesn't convey complete sense. So a dependent clause which does not convey a complete sense is not a sentence, rather it is a dependent clause. On the other hand, if you look at this, it can be called an independent clause, but you can call it a sentence, but you cannot call it a sentence because on the whole, it is a part of this longer sentence. So from here, we got to know that sentence is something which conveys complete sense, complete idea, complete thought, but clause can be dependent, clause can be independent, but whatever are they are the part of a longer sentence. They are not alone. Let's move and see what are the different types of clauses. Different types of clauses are going to come in front of you. Dependent clause. You have just seen adjective clause, noun clause, independent clause, adverbial clause, and relative clause. Now, all these clauses are named on the basis of function they perform. If some clause is a noun, it's a noun clause. If some clause is performing the function of an adjective, it's an adjective clause. And if some clause is giving some further information of a noun, that is called a relative clause. Let's move on and discuss the relative clause. Relative clause is actually a clause that provides more information about a noun in the sentence by using relative pronouns. And now, what are relative pronouns? Relative pronouns are really very well known to you. Let's look at another face of them. Relative pronouns are all these: who, that, which, whose, when, where, and whom. Let's see that how they are going to be used. Who is always used when you are talking about a person. Whom is always used when you are referring to a person's possession. Whose is always used when you are talking about belongingness. Which is always used when you are referring to animals and objects. that is used to join two clauses when we are referring to animal, people, and things. Where is used when we are talking about places, and when is used when we are talking about time. All these relative pronouns, they will join two clauses in the sentence, and they will be describing all different things according to the functions they are performing. For example, Ali was eating an apple. Ali, he is a doctor. These are two clauses. These are two different complete sentences. They can be combined to form a longer sentence by joining a relative pronoun who. Ali, who is a doctor, was eating an apple. So here in this longer sentence, when we analyze it, we can see that the part in blue, which is having this relative pronoun who, is actually a relative clause, and this is actually a dependent clause. On the other hand, the part in brown is an independent, is an independent clause of the sentence. Let's have some more example. Place. London, which is the capital of England, hosted the 2012 Olympics. Now here, which is a relative pronoun, which is talking about this place, London. And it is giving us more information that it is the place which is hosting the Olympics. So it is actually which here is performing the function of a relative pronoun. Mr. Jack, who loves going for walk, has a dog called Cabby. Now here, who is talking about Mr. Jack, and hence it is a relative pronoun. Now let's look at some more examples. We use who when we are referring about the subject. He, who. It's referring about subject, so it is a relative pronoun of subject. When we are talking about the people in object, we use whom. She is the woman whom I met. So this is whom is talking about this lady, which is the object. Whose refers about possession, belongingness, whose keys are on the kitchen. Which refers to animal and object, that is not good language, which all understand not. That can be used for people, animal, and things. It is a poor mouse that has only one hole. Where refers about places. Sing your name on the form where I've put a cross. Sign your name on the form where I have put a cross. When talks about time, let's cross the bridge when we come on it. And why tells about reason. I'd like to know the reason why you are late. And what talks about things, pardon me, I don't hear what you say. So I'm sure that you are now clear about using all these relative clauses. And now when you are writing your composition in English, you are writing your sentences, and when even you are speaking language, you are going to use them correctly and in a better way. Now, this is going to be a little activity for you. You are going to choose a character from the book you have currently read or a place which you have recently visited, and you're going to write a relative clause about it. Make sure to use all the relative pronoun correctly, like who, whom, whose, which, that, where, when. Use them correctly. See that what is the specific use of each relative pronoun, and focus on a correct use of them. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz. Stay blessed and